about an hour. So it's like a 7:32 right now. So possibly we would be winding it up at 8:30. So anything that possible within that timeline. So we would be surely trying to touch base and give the best inputs as possible. So to make it as much as interactive as possible, the only way is just like helping us out with some questions. By that way, so we know like you're really interested of taking it up this webinar. We would try to make it more interactive rather than we try to go like in our own way and stuff like that. So it's always the way we could best utilize the time. Great. So we already have questions coming in. We have Raghuveer applied for masters in racing engines systems at Oxford Brookes for 2021 intake. So just want to know about job opportunities and all. Perfect. I think that's a good question. So good to know. I have a friend, like one of my students studied there in Oxford Brookes. I think I should be able to sort of, give you some insights on that. And definitely Akash is already there at UK, so you should be able to bring in something as an answer. So we have, what is the scope of getting a job in motorsports company after completing masters in UK? Quite an interesting thing. I think looks like a lot of motorsports enthusiasts. Awesome. In motorsports as a good option for Indian applicants, how are the job opportunities? All right, so that's good. That's good. Sure. Siddhant Deshpande, why masters overseas than India? Okay, quite a good question for sure. Subjects to take up a master's regarding automobile simulation. Okay. All right, Srinidhi, I think that's a good question too. So don't try to message us privately. It's better if you guys do it at everyone. By the way, people like Akash also sees the message rather than only I'm seeing the message. Yeah. So it's quite easier if you guys just drop a message to everyone rather than messaging us privately. Perfect. So why masters? Right, is a better option to do automotive rather than motorsports. Right, quite a good thing. I did masters in instrumentation control research related in PhD. Okay, here. Great guys. I think that's quite a lot of questions, and very happy to see if something we can address all of them. But for sure, we will try to have all the questions in the chat box. They get recorded. We will try to come back and try to help you out as much as possible with the questions and try and answer them. So it's 7:35. I think we should be good to start the session. Akash, you're convenient that we could start the session, in a few minutes, if so. You're convenient, right?
Yes. I'm fine. I'm ready. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So, guys, I think, yeah. So we should be good to start the discussions. By the way, good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to all of you. So people who are joining all over the world. So people joining from India and a few people also participating from other countries, and quite happy to host all of you today. Quite interesting for us to see like people are interested in pursuing masters. For sure, there are a lot of benefits about it. But the whole thing, when we're trying to figure out is that there are a lot of consultancies for sure who would possibly give you how to do an application, like how to choose certain universities or how to apply for universities. But the reality is there are a lot of things which is in the back end, which is not known to people. Let's say like what sort of curriculum pressure will be there, how to adopt to the university, new learning methodologies over there, what kind of subjects to pick up. Like there is no in-depth detail unless you have some relatives there who are really studying or who studied it, or your brother somebody who studied it. But there are a lot of things which is sort of unknown and quite a challenging thing for a lot of students to start their masters very well and land up in a good university and pursue it really great. So idea was sort of bring in individuals who are actually studying in UK or else in other parts of the world too in the upcoming webinars to give sort of a guidance to a lot of our decibelites to kind of build that perspective that what we should know before we start up masters. That because for sure we're spending a lot of money, but over that it would be best utilizable as possible with your time and convenient too. So the idea of this series of webinars, which we are starting up from today with Akash, it'll definitely continue ahead in the upcoming weekends, or at least on the weekdays, to bring in a few more people from other parts of the world, from Sweden, from Netherlands, and also from Germany, also from US. We've spoken to a lot of people. Everything is planned up, so we'll be bringing up people and continuing the discussions. The whole interest is possibly here to sort of know what more than consultancy can tell you, and to share that real-time life experience that we can understand. Okay, hey, he has gone through the same thing. I think that will be same for me, so that we possibly can get that idea before we even plan to enter there, or choosing a right university, or planning about scholarship, or adopting the curriculum pressure here itself than before going there and struggling. A lot of things which are going to be interestingly talking about in the today's webinar and also in the upcoming webinars. So that's the interest from us to host this webinar, to sort of give sort of real time experiences from people who are studying there, working there, graduated, to all the people who are aspiring to enter there. Great. So we try to be keeping it quite general, also like specific to certain areas of automotive mechanical, because we're working in that area as specifically. So with that motivation, so we have Akash today. So Akash, I know Akash from quite some time. So it's been, I think, 4 years. Me and Akash know each other. So with that way, Akash pursued his engineering at Dayanand College, and Akash currently pursuing his master's in University of Warwick, Sustainable Mobility Engineering. So with all of that, so he's also written a lot of articles for students to help out in LinkedIn and things like that, which I kind of felt like, is a very nice, like, person who expresses things, gives out a hand to people who have, doubts on things in the area of masters and things like that. So we thought, why don't we can ask Akash to, take up a webinar with us. And by that way, it would be quite interesting for people to sort of pursue and understand from the person who already done it over there. So with all of that, we invited Akash, and he's quite excited to share his journey, and also like very specific things on list of things he also has made up on 3 different topics today. So with that, I welcome you, Akash, and thanks a lot for accepting our invite and taking out your time to join us today. And thanks a lot for you taking up this opportunity to share this session with us.
Yeah,
By the way, perfect.
hi,
Right.
Suraj. Hi. Would you want to finish it?
Yeah, I'm good to that. So I should be good to hand over to you to take ahead the session from here on. So over to you, Akash, to take ahead the session and share your experience to all the students. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, hello everyone. I'm Akash. I've done my master's in Sustainable Automotive Engineering from the University of Warwick, and now I'm working at Jaguar Land Rover. So yeah, to start off, first of all, thanks to Suraj to for setting all this up and allowing me this opportunity to come share my experience with you people who are like going through the exact phase I went through 2 years ago. So yeah, before I start, I would just tell like I would split this sort of webinar into 3 different segments. So one would be like my journey from India. The second one would be my experience here during my master's, and the third one would be about jobs and visa perspectives here in the UK. Right. So at the end of each session, I'll stop, give some time for you guys to come up with your questions, because if there are questions running when I'm having a discussion, I wouldn't be able to see it or I'll miss it. So just hold your questions for each relevant topic, and then we can have a Q&A after each session. So if there's still something left, we can do it at the end. Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah. So starting from 2 3 years back, 4 years back mostly. Yeah. So this was my journey in India. I was pursuing my bachelor's in automotive engineering. Right. So that time I was like, yes, master's is definitely one of the things which I need to consider, because I felt I hadn't learned enough or learned something of some in deep subject knowledge, right? So yeah, at that point, that was the thing that was going on in my mind, right? Yeah. So okay. So now that I've decided I have to do masters, so I'm like, okay, so where do we go? Because once you start looking, there's like a huge spectrum of countries, opportunities, continents. You can go anywhere. There's a course available for you, right? So yeah, keeping that in mind, I made this huge kind of list. It was an Excel sheet. I still remember, 3 sheets long. So I went on this website, like the university ranking website. So checked out which uni, which course, which country, sorted it out country wise. Then, like again, started shortlisting. What do I like? What do I don't like? At that point of time, yes, I was not mature enough to know what I like and to know what is good enough for me. You all might be in the same position, right? So at that point of time, I was like, okay, yeah. So somehow I started, like writing down everything, and because for each country you need to prepare yourself in a different format. For US it's something different. For UK it's different. For Europe it might be different. Yeah, right. So yeah, so this was the whole thing. So yeah, I thought UK is a good option. The university was good. The courses were good. So I was like, okay, so let me go with this university, right? So I chose, of course, not at first. So I had like 4 or 5 universities shortlisted in the UK, right? So then what I did was started going through their websites more, looking at the research areas inside the university, because this is something which people from India, we do not associate a university or a educational institution to the type of research they do, right? But what happens abroad is each university specializes in one very core area of research. It is even above the industry level research that happens, right? So then going on looking at it, so my university, I was just checking on them. So they were like, they're really doing good in terms of electric propulsion, and in terms of electric mobility and battery management systems and things like those. So that's what got me hooked onto them. And of course there were other supplements, like the university ranking, the uh, the course content, the course structure, how do you, like how would you like it, and things like those. So all those are there as well, right? So those are a few things. So so now I decided, okay, so I want this university, but I don't know what to do. So then I was like, again, started looking online. In general, people were like, do this, do that, right? And of course, there are all these consultancies that come into picture at this time, right? So yeah, you're still very confused. And then what I did was, I did, like end up going to one of the consultancies, and they again they did the process from start. They're like, this is your dream university, this is your backup university, and things like those. Anyway, but I anyway got into my dream university. It's not that hard here in the UK. So yeah, that was my first thing. I had to prepare myself for that. Look up for, like what sort of exams they needed. You need an IELTS, or you may or may not need an IELTS depending on the university. And prepare your SOP, why you want to study that subject, and also like also research the market demand about that subject, because there are some courses which are very peculiar, which not many people take. There's not a lot of jobs for that course, but it's like it's one of the niche courses, I would say. So in that case, based on how to choose your course, I would tell the best person to talk to is maybe your seniors, who have like who are like 2 or 3 years elder to you, because they have gone through the exact phase, and at this point of time they would be trying to get into the industry, and they themselves would be the best person to tell you what they lack, and what subject is good, what has much demand in terms of jobs, or which field is more intensive, or things like those. So they are the best people to talk to. Of course, industry veterans can tell you better, but the best person to give you knowledge would be your immediate or super seniors, things like those. So that's how you shortlist your course. And then once I did that, I did my exams, my SOP, and yeah, it was a nice journey, because when you write your SOP, at this is the point in India, everything is rushed, So once you sit down and, okay, so let me start writing my SOP, that's the point you start thinking, okay, why do I want to do this course? Some people, like do tend to be a little unrealistic and tell, I want to do this, I want to do that. But sometimes that's when you realize, okay, so this is why I want to do this course. This is where I've come so far, and this is where I want to go. And that's where this course is going to come in and help me out, right? So yeah, that is in terms of realizing what you actually want to do yourself, I would say. Yeah. And one more thing is, I would say, do not rush into something telling that this course has a lot of job perspective, I want to go for this. If things go bad and like you do not like the subject, because some courses are very intensive. Like for example, for someone who doesn't like programming, if they take a topic which has like full programming, and of course they're not going to like working in it, they're not going to like like to even be in the classroom. So your whole masters is like going bad, and it's a it's a roller coaster from there. It piles up. You wouldn't like that. So just make sure you like the course and you are sure that that is what you want to go do. Yeah. Right. So that is another thing. And again, yeah, preparing to come abroad, you know, our parents are definitely very much concerned. They would be like, do you have, where you're going to stay, or who are going to be your friends, what are you going to eat? All that is, I would say, don't break your head on it, because number one, there's everything is available here. There's no difference between this place in India. 99% of things you get it here. And number two, there's the Indian community here is bigger than you could think. There's a huge Indian community, and especially in terms of students, right? You would have like tons of Indian friends. You would be like, I still have a student who told me, bro, I wanted to be friends with other cultures and other people, but it's hard. There's more of us here than them in the classroom. So you wouldn't have to worry about all that. It's definitely a new place, but it's a different experience. You would definitely like love it here in the UK. The weather is really good. You have like the summers are really good and the winters are really really good. Excuse me. Yeah, so that was before you come here. Do not worry much about all that. So just like stay on course, stay on track. The main thing I would say is the one golden thing that you have to keep in your mind is, do you want that course? And like, is that what you look at your life going ahead? Maybe do you want to specialize in this area and working in an industry in that area? That's what you would see going ahead at yourself. Yeah, so that is one thing. Yeah, so after that, what else happens before leaving? So yeah, okay. So regarding scholarships, yes, there are a lot of scholarships, and I'm including this in this section because if you want scholarships, you have to be like very, very early. I would say, by the start of your fourth year, you should have, like an offer letter, or at least you should have, sorted out that this is the uni you need and this is the course you need, and you're going to apply ASAP, right? Because a lot of scholarships have different dates. So you need to be prepared for them because they run only once a year. So if your date is off by a huge amount, it's hard to get by. And if you're early, most of the universities, I think one scholarship which many of you could get is by paying your tuition fees in whole. You get like a 10 or 15% off in some universities as well. And yes, I would say this, it's all personal research. Like nobody would sit and like uh, go through scholarship that is suitable for you. So there's a whole lot of scholarships. Just research, keep researching, and the best thing to do is be prepared beforehand. Like do not, we cannot postpone this until the last moment, because there are a lot of bodies involved in this. So I would say that that is another thing regarding scholarships. It is fairly easy to get one, provided you are composed, you know what you want, and you apply it beforehand, before everyone. That's what gives you an edge in scholarship, nothing else, right? So yeah, of course, in some scholarships you would have your merit, but in some it's just first come, first serve. So that is the thing. Yeah. Okay, so it's a small question from here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, if you're going to your fourth year and you wanted to know if you should apply for MS right now, there's two options you can take here before applying MS. You could either go get some good experience and then apply for MS, which is definitely, I would say, a good choice. You're not, there's nothing wrong to talk about it. There's no bad points in that. It's all good. Provided, I would say, if you get a job in your field, that whatever you studied for, automotive means you work in some automotive company in the research R&D area, or modeling or simulation, or whatever an engineer does, right? Rather, if you get into the service sector or something of the automotive industry, that would not benefit you much in terms of job value, because when you do your masters, it all should be linked. You should be doing an engineer's work from start. That's what piles upon, adds up to your CV and things like those. So then you do masters, then you go look for a job. It's all good. I would say that's a bonus thing to do. But another perspective is, if you want to start a job there in India, you may not know. It's basically, again, comes down to your life plans. You may not know about how do we put it? If you want to come here, and if you're looking to settle here, you're wasting 2 years there, right? You can come here, but here, obviously, with lower job experience, you might have to fight harder to get a good job. But again, it's two things. It depends on what you want, right? So I think we can go for a Q&A right now. Is that okay, Suraj?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me, Akash. I think, yeah. So there are a few questions in here, quite interesting ones. How is the job opportunity in UK? That's something as a question. I
Okay.
think, yeah, how are the job opportunities for industrial engineers after masters? Great.
Okay.
Sounds good. I think that,
Guys, if you could just the thing is about jobs, yeah, that is like the third sector of this
yeah,
webinar, right? I will be talking about that. You'll feel it easier because first I might already answer your question when I'm talking about that, so you'll feel it easier to ask advanced questions later after that specific bit. So first, if you could just ask, like choosing your course, or before leaving India, if you have any questions related to those.
perfect. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. I think we could just go like a step by step, like, in the way that, how you actually start planning about, from India to, I would say like an admission. So once
Okay,
admission is
okay.
done, then, you just go in. Like, I think we can just take up our questions from there, guys. So then definitely we can move on to the scholarships and parts of it. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
here's one question. What are the
yeah.
prerequisites to get into a good university in UK? Okay. I would say, the thing they mostly see here in UK is your will and why you want to take up the course. It's not that hard to get into a good university, but you, of course, like at least need to have like first class, like the top universities definitely ask that first class in your course, in your engineering or something like that. And then what else they look for is, yes, I think yeah, if you have a 3 years degree, that is fine in the UK. They do not ask for a 4 year bachelor's as in other countries. So that is another thing. You should have like taken English and scored above. I'm not sure of the score, but you should have a good score in English in your PU. Then I don't think you need IELTS, like the pre-university thing, 11th or 12th. Right. So that is one more thing. And okay. Okay, course accreditation and drop in admission if you applied early, should you choose to work with masters? Yes, yeah. See, one good thing about UK universities is you do not have huge admission fees. You do not have there's no contract that if they give you an offer, you should take it. It's just an offer, right? So that is another good thing. Apply beforehand, keep the offer letters with you, and then you can make a decision, right? They'll definitely give you last dates to pay your first installment. That is the confirmation that from your side that yes, you're going to take up this course. Unless that, they treat you as a yes or no case, right? So that is one thing. And interest in robotics, how important is the course accreditations? Yes, in some ways universities go around a lot of things to get their course accredited. Yes, that is, I would say you could give it like 30-40% importance about the course accreditation. But one more thing you mainly have to look for is uh, use LinkedIn, talk to your seniors who have already done that course. That's how you get a very realistic picture of your course. And second thing is, what do I say? You could also, like again, look at the course content. Like what sort of subjects you have in the course, and is that what you really want to do? Because most of us, we never even look at the subject list. we just like look at the title and are like, okay, so let's apply for this. No, look at the individual subjects, take some time and read and try to understand what those really are, so that is one thing I would say. For applying, do I made, okay, building your profile to apply for a UK university. I would say it's not, like first thing, of course, you need to have subject knowledge to apply for a university. You just like cannot cross sectors like too much. Maybe with an engineering can go a bit here and there, provided you reason them well or you have some experience in that relevant field. Apart from that, I would say that the best bit, like maybe you have a dream university which you think you would not get into, go to their course website, okay, and look for the requirements to join this course. It's very simple. They ask, or, they do what they ask for, right? Go to their website. It'll all be mentioned there. Like you maybe need your bachelor's in this stream, or you need to have completed this 4 mathematical subjects in your bachelor's, and things like those, right? So that is important. And universities that provide specialization in EVs. There are lots. I would say Warwick is definitely one university which does that. I think there are like 3 to 4 in the UK which do that. Okay, masters in the UK are of 1 year. How is the workload compared to that of 2 years in general? Okay, so I would say yes. One thing is when you come for masters, you definitely have to work hard. In the US, there are a lot of semester breaks and things like those, but here it's not. Because it's 1 year, it's pretty piled on. There's a lot to study, and yes, you get time for like going out with friends and going around and stuff like that. But it is intensive, so you have to mentally prepare yourself. It's not hard or impossible. It's just you need to train yourself that if you take it lightly, things will not go well. You just need to be serious and dedicated, and it's really good, right? And regarding the 1 or 2 years masters, I would say again, while choosing your university, most of them are a 1 year course, and it's recognized in most of the places, especially in the UK, Europe, and things like those. Right. Sometimes your course comes with a 1 year industrial placement. So that is where you have to go out the second year, look for internships for at least 9 months. So that is actually a part of your course, but you also have to get paid by the internship to do that and approved by the university. So these are 2 year courses, so which act like a 2 year master's degree, right? So that is the thing. Yeah. Okay. So I've read many of the questions, so I think I'll be moving on to the next section of this webinar. All your questions that I've not answered is in my mind, and I'll come back to it as the webinar goes, because I will answer them in my sessions, right? Yeah. So
Sure, I shall help you out if something is there. Yeah. No worries. We can continue.
Yeah. All right. So the second part is okay. So you come here. You're in the UK. How do things go? So yeah, I came here in September-ish. Yeah, it was pretty cold, right? I would say that. Wear a good jacket. It's pretty cold, and I would suggest keep some cash in hand, because you wouldn't have debit cards or things like those. Keep some pounds, British pounds in hand for the taxis and stuff. Before coming here, you definitely have to. Yeah, this is one thing I forgot to tell. As do scholarships and offer letters and everything go, there are a lot of student accommodations who get filled up 6 months before coming here or 8 months before coming here. So I do suggest you guys get into that, because it's pretty hassle free, because some have housekeeping that maintain your room maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. And although you get a small space, but you have everything taken care of for yourself. You don't need to go running around in like you have to do in a private house. So I would say housing is one main thing. I stress upon that, especially if you want security, if you're worried about all these things. Those places have 24-hour security, so you don't need to worry about that. Look for student accommodations, I would say. And yeah, so once you come here, it's going to be cold around that time of the year. So it's a new place. Definitely take a week, look around, get settled, get a SIM card, all that thing. Meet new friends, I would say. That's a definite thing, I would say. Meet new friends, make new friends, because that is the period where everyone are looking for friends. And it's easier to make friends than later in the year, when there's all groups sorted out and you can't get in anywhere. So it's, hey, that is the best place, like to go make good friends. And don't restrict yourself to, people from India or people from your city. Definitely go out. There are a lot of European people, British people, make friends from different cultures. There are a lot of Chinese students as well. They're really good friends. They're fun to hang out with. So I would say go hang out with them. Parties and stuff and all. So that is good. Yes, of course, you would be early here before your course starts. So relax, get the place. I would say get your bus pass sorted, get your travel directions, get all that sorted before the first day. And some universities have a strict rule that you got to go there, 10 days, between 10 days after you reach here, right? You have to go there before that to collect your BRP. Your BRP is something like your, I would say, the Aadhaar card in India. It's very important. It's proof of residence in the UK. That's a must have. So I would say do not miss the deadline. Go to the university and collect it, because if that goes, your visa is cancelled. So some things are very serious here on the deadline. So you have to follow them. Make sure you read all the emails properly. Do not miss out on any email, because here email culture is pretty serious. Any serious issue, anything, they would send you an email. Make sure you read it properly, right? So that you don't miss out anything. So this section is mostly about, like in the UK and during your masters, right? So again, I would say subjects, yes, some subjects might be new, some you might be used to it. And UK universities do not look at how much you write. They don't worry about that. They only worry about the content, right? So their questions would not be like, what is a battery? What are the types of battery? What is a motor? That's not the sort of questions they would ask you in their assignments. The questions would be like, it's basically your job description, right? So it's basically, it would be like, you are working on this car. For example, you have a hatchback that's about to come from Jaguar, right? And this is the vehicle dimensions, weight, and all the numbers. They give you the numbers. They're like, okay, go design a battery for this, and explain yourself why you did that. That's the whole point over here. So it is of how good of a technical person you are, and how good you reason yourself for why you did that without repeating things that are found in the textbook or anywhere else. So that is how they look at you over here. Critical analysis is what they look for, how critically you look at a subject and how you aim to solve it, right? So that is in your subject and your exams. Yeah. Okay, so that is one thing. And yeah, coming to your dissertation, most of the courses are a 1-year course. Your dissertation starts very, very early. This is another thing which I would stress upon lots. Dissertation is very important. Majority of the courses, dissertation forms like 50 to 60% of your overall marks. Although the subjects take much time and are intensive, they do not contribute to much of your masters than the dissertations. Of course, you need to pass the subjects, but your dissertation is the main thing. So as soon as you come here, do not wander around, just chill for a short while. And once university starts, it's time to get serious. So take your dissertation topic very seriously in terms of either choosing it at the start, because some universities have interviews for each topic. They give you the topic, and if you're interested, you have to go give an interview to prove that you're capable of doing that. And some universities you can put forward your own, or if you're really capable and of getting a project from an external company, you can do that. But that is like literally hard because you're new here and it's hard to follow around and do things, I would say. So that is one thing. Yeah. So make sure your dissertation topic is definitely what you want to do, what you want to specialize on. Talk a lot to your course directors, to your teachers, module tutors, and everyone. Make sure that is the right thing you want to do, right? And yeah, basically they just give you a month right after your course starts to finalize your dissertation topic. And it could be easy to go off track and not come up with a good topic, but do put your effort, do your research. Even you're back in India, you might be free for a while before you come here. Do your research there, and so when you come here, you're all set to go upon your on the topic, right? So yeah, that is during your masters. And what else could I say? I would say the next thing is career fairs. Sorry. Okay. So many of you ask me about career fairs, and is the university good if it offers more career fairs? How does it work over here? So talking about careers and career fairs, I would say it's not a big deal, because no university over here guarantees anybody any sort of job. It's all on you. So career fairs are like just like where companies come, they describe about themselves. It's like there's this mini stalls. They describe about themselves and what sort of roles they have. But I would say, as I guess you all are coming from India, or somewhere outside the UK, and I would say the hardest part for us is not to find a job, but it's regarding the visa, which I will talk about later on. Okay. Uh, so yeah, so that's the thing. Career fairs don't really matter, because the companies that do come to the career fair again ask you to go online and apply. So if you just have your laptop, you can just sit at home and go apply to that anyway, right? So that is not a big deal. Yeah, okay. I think we can open up to questions about what to do during your masters, dissertations, subjects, research, presentations. Yeah, if you guys have any questions. Suraj, is that fine?
Absolutely, Akash. I think it's really going well. Maybe I would just like have one small question, just to ask
Okay.
from my side, because I've heard a lot from many students who studied abroad. Assignments are very strict. There's a lot of plagiarism check. Like,
Yeah.
I've talked to some students here, like, they don't, like, it's just here, like, you just copy paste few things, you just even do few of the calculations, fine. But over there, like, that's very serious. If they don't do it right, you would have, like, a semester bad going and things like that. Like, how is that like, challenging for like, from us to shift from here to there? Okay, could you please just brief us on that?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So first of all, I totally forgot about this topic. Sorry about that. So yeah, talking about assignments, I myself, when I came here for my first assignment, I put in a lot of effort. Because I studied in India, some of those things come with me. I put in a lot of effort. Uh, and this was genuinely done by me, no copying, pasting, or anything like that. I expected to get somewhere around 85 plus, because obviously I was an automotive engineer. This is my field. I have to do that. But no, I did not. I got somewhere around 56 or 60 or something. The reason is that it is the style of writing, right? We think assignment is something we have to copy paste, and that is one thing which people take very seriously here. If you plagiarize, you could jeopardize your visa, you could jeopardize your masters, and you will be sent back. You wouldn't be refunded your fees or anything. So do not do that. I can't stress upon more. Assignments are not that hard. Just sit, learn, and write it out. So that is one thing. And yeah, how to write an assignment, it's many courses, like most of the universities offer like voluntary workshops where you can go, and they themselves would give you examples of a good assignment and a bad one. They teach you how to write assignments. So if you have that, definitely do go there and do that. Apart from that, you have to change your style of writing. You have to change how you go about explaining something about the content that you're going to do. And main thing is formatting and all that. All those are different, but the main thing is your assignment needs to be of good quality, and that only comes by putting in time and effort. They can look at an assignment and they can tell you how much time you spent on it. So I cannot stress enough on that. So you need to do that. But it's easy, don't worry. Like 99% of colleges I know do offer voluntary courses for this. They're free. They're on the weekends. Go attend them, and it's not something that you have to skip, because it's specifically for people like us, like who are from a different background. Our teachers expect something, we deliver something else, and that would affect only your marks and nothing else. So I can't stress upon that more. So just make sure you do all that. Yeah. Any other questions?
I think, yeah, there are a few questions, Akash. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, guys, if you're skipping out a few questions, but never mind. We'll try to put them into an FAQ and we'll try to give them an
Yeah.
answers down the line. I know that like a lot of questions. It's really great to hear from you. Uh, yeah, so I think here in Uruguay, there's mentioned about how is in general course flow, like how much theoretical, how much practical. I know it depends on the course, but still a general idea. That's what his question is. Like, what is sort of, you want to understand, like, what is a balance between
Okay.
the theoretical and practical? Yeah, yeah. Good question.
Um, okay, I would just tell in terms of automotive, yes, there are a lot of labs. You at least have like three to four subjects with labs. You would have some lab work. It would either be in term of demonstration or in terms of manufacturing something or testing something. So this is how the labs would be. They are a small part of your course, but not that big, I would say. Yeah, it's mostly for research. You can do your research there if it's related to your dissertation or your interest and you get permissions. So that's all about labs. And one more thing is how is the course flow? Uh, okay, but before going to that about labs, in terms of IT and everything, yes, these are very lab oriented. You have a lot of lab work going on in IT and computer science. And so course flow, yes, as I said, it's pretty intense. It's not easy, and you guys have to prepare yourselves. Uh, and again, it's not that hard as well. Just keep yourself on a standard timeline. Make sure you give your assignments on time. Make sure you don't fail your deadlines. It should go good. You have ample time to chill out, hang out with friends. You can go to Europe as well on a Europe trip, but at the same time, just stay oriented and do not go off track during your masters. Or especially, I cannot stress upon the deadlines again. So make sure you meet all of them. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. Do you
I
think
think,
part-time jobs are a boon or a bane to industry? I would say, yeah. See, so part-time jobs basically, if you earn, so the basic rate is they pay you £8.50 an hour's work, right? Yes, you can do part-time jobs. It's up to you. Some people, I think you're restricted to work for 20 hours a week. So that's mostly like you can work weekends, 2 days, you can do that. Uh, yes, yeah, it's not a big boon or it could be a bane. So I would say, because you wouldn't earn much to, like to support yourself over here or to pay for most of your things because the earnings would be very little. One thing is, and the second thing, if you fail to manage your time properly, as I said, the assignments are already intensive, and over that you have dissertations and a lot of things to do. So I would say it could be a bane if you're not good at time management. I would say if you have done this before studying and working, or balancing your time out or doing stuff like that, then go for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest that. Anything else? Are exams open or closed book? Um, in terms of exams, I would say basically evaluation. There's many things for me, particularly. I have not written even a single exam here. I pass my course completely through assignments. It's basically you sit at home and work on it, and they will definitely get to you if you copy or if you take someone's help. Of course, some topics, whether are mathematical questions, yeah, 4 or 5 friends sit together, we solve the problem together, right? But you have to do your own write-up, you have to do your own explanations on your own. That all that cannot be copied. Some courses are a balance between assignments and exams. Exams are closed book exams. I do not know about open book exams, or I haven't heard about that. So yeah, that is a thing about exams. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, how much does the weightage now course contain during our placements? So basically here recruiters are looking for is they wouldn't ask you, your percentage or your course. It's pretty standard here. Nobody would go in detail. They just ask you what topics you've covered, and definitely there will be a technical round where they're going to ask you about a certain machinery or a certain technique, and if you're able to explain that to their knowledge and to whatever the job description is, you get the job. They do not you know differ you by terms of your results, but some big companies where you have to go through a separate portal to apply for them, they do have some restrictions in the guidelines that only these people can apply. You have to have a 2:1 or a 2:2 or things like those. Yeah. Okay, is there a huge gap between our engineering syllabus here and the master's course over there? um I would say yes, a decent enough gap, because whatever we study back there is somewhat still about IC engines and somewhat still about a little old, not the exact research that's happening at the industry at this very moment. But this is very advanced. But you should not feel like completely dissociated because it's new for everyone. It's supposed to be new for everyone, and that's how you learn. If it's the same, there's no point doing that course again, right? Does the ranking of the uni matter much, and how does it affect Russell Group institutions? Okay. Yes, ranking of the university matters up to an extent, because some external scholarship bodies look for the ranking of the universities. Uh, and again, it is something that confirms you that you're not, that's a solid proof that you're not going anywhere bad, or you're not going to face anything, you're not going to have a bad experience at the university. That is one more thing. But I would say it's not the only thing that can prove a university is good or bad. People have had bad experiences at really great universities with very high ranks, and again, the opposite has happened as well. So it's just something you should just use as a guideline, but not as a must-have category, I would say. Okay. And regarding jobs and visas, I think that's my next section. So I'll just, like hold those questions for till then. Um, Suraj, is there anything else which I've
Yeah,
missed?
I think pretty good, pretty good. It's in the flow. So that's quite a good amount of questions. How many credits does dissertation contribute to total credits of the masters?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one of the questions from Avinash. Yeah, would you like
How
to
much
take it?
credits dissertation? Okay. This again, as I said, totally dependent on the university. It could be somewhere from 30% and go up to 60%. So 30 to 60% of your masters is your dissertation. Okay.
Right.
So
Perfect.
for an
Perfect. I think yeah.
internships and placements, and does your BTech mark resume? Okay, I would say internships, if you're really lucky enough and really, like hardworking, you have to look for a lot of opportunities during a course. If you get an internship, I would say it's a good achievement. It's not something which everybody get, but again, you have to balance your. There are many things that come into play here. One is the internship should be less than 20 hours a week. Uh, and the second thing is you have to, what do I say, balance your course and get permission from a university to do that. So it's, a bit ups and downs, but if you get an internship, you have to work overtime. Like, believe me, like there's a lot of work, you'll have stress. So that is one thing. Suraj, you were telling something?
Uh, no, I think you're pretty much all good. It's on the flow. I think Adit, you have something to share from your side. So just drop us a message at the last. So we should be able to take the question out. I think that's pretty much on the sense right now. So strong subjects. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead to the next sections of the discussions, Akash.
Okay. So yeah, the next thing I would be telling is, as you uh, come towards, the end of your masters, what next? That is the question that most of the people ask. So yeah, if you have, like if your plan was, to go back to India to find a job there, yes, that is a good thing. You will have definite value over your classmates who did bachelor's there. I would say. One more thing is, another thing is to have, work over here. So one thing when it comes to us is it's not about finding work; it's about sorting out your visa. So the thing till now is, nobody is going to give you a visa. You have to, I mean, unless you have like good experience, the company is really willing to sponsor you a visa, and the company is registered to be a sponsor. Then yes, you get one. But for most of us who just finished uni in India, come here, do masters, and then again. Look at it, it's hard for the rest of us to do it. So I would say, right now there are a lot of good things happening after Brexit, because initially what would happen is, if there's a job opening, the UK government had a rule that you need to post an advertisement for the job, like this is for the company. So they need to advertise for the job. So they need to show that nobody within the UK or Europe is eligible for that job, and only then, like after 30 days or something, if they still get no one, then is what they come and sponsor someone outside. And most of us being freshers, we cannot expect that to happen. I would say maybe if you have like 4 or 5 years of experience, then yes, you could expect. But apart from that, it's impossible to do that. But yeah, things are going good for us now. So it's first it was like UK or Europe, candidates, and then the rest of the world. So now it's first only like it's been like UK and rest of the world. So we have come a level up in terms of preference, in terms of job, right? So again, yeah, sponsorships could increase because now Europeans cannot come work here without a visa. So sponsorships could increase is one thing, and the second thing I would say is, right now yeah, so you do not get 3 years visa right now. So it's your 1 year course plus 2 years post study work visa. So in that 2 years is meant to, like to look for jobs, I would say. And most companies, even though you have 2 years visa, most of the big companies would still not give you an offer letter, because the thing they ask for is indefinite leave to remain. So it's called ILR. So what that means is, you are allowed to stay in the UK indefinitely, and you do not need a work visa. Basically, you need to be a UK citizen, right? So unless you have that, it's hard to get a full-time job in a big company. You could definitely get some side jobs for those 2 years, or do your internships. But this is the whole deal. You would not get like the dream job you expect with that post study work visa. So yeah, let me just take a look at the question. Yeah, so that is about the work visa. So what else can we do, if you ask? I would say, so there is a new system coming up this December. It's called it's the points-based system to settle in the UK. It is a very similar system to Canada and Australia. This is a really good thing for us, I would say, because so you basically need to have certain criteria. You need to fill those criteria, and if you do, you get the citizenship right away, through which you can settle here and work how much ever you want. It's not going to be that hard. You just need to have a job, and your job should be in the skill list. And you need to get a salary of about, I think, 35,000 pounds or something. So you get like 5 points for this, 10 points for that. It all adds up. It's on the UK government website. I could share you the link if you guys want later on. So it's basically like that. You fulfill certain criteria. It's not that hard. It's like you need to have a job offer, not a job offer, and that you would get this much salary, and all that adds up. And yes, you can settle here and work after that. It's gonna get easy. Yeah. So that is regarding the visa. And now about the job market. In automotive, I would say UK is one of the, uh, it has a lot of automotive companies who do like a lot of core research here. and there are a lot of automotive engineers needed. There's a constant demand for us over here. Um, and yes, so if you have the right skills, you should not have a hard time finding a job. But it's all these circumstances, like like your visa, like your settlement status, and all that. That is what comes into matter. So if you're like, if you're hardworking, and if you apply for university, I mean, sorry, you apply for jobs pretty early, started attending interviews, and I think many universities help you tailor your CV. They just look into your profile, see what they can build, and things like those. So yeah, that should be good. Yeah. Indian education doesn't recognize. Yes, yeah. Yeah, Indian government does not recognize most of the UK degrees. Yes, that is one thing. But yes, if you have like like a definite thing that yes, you have to go into ISRO or DRDO, I would say it's your call, because it's just a rule. It's not that you don't possess the knowledge or you don't know the subject in depth. You do everything. For example, in US there are a lot of breaks between your semesters, and here it's not. The we just get 1 week for Christmas, and I think 1 or 2 days for Easter, and yeah, that's it. It's really hard. You barely get holidays here. It's hard to find time between your classes. But once maybe your subjects are over and you have your dissertation pending, it's a lot of homework. So that time you could stay at home and work. But apart from that, yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? Suraj, hello.
Akash, I think that's pretty much of the questions right here. Okay, so there's one last. UK degree is eligible for job in UK or overall around the world. I think yeah, that's in very general. Saga, like which sort of experience which I've maybe come across. It's for sure the knowledge. I believe it's as far as the private sector is concerned, because you could see so many Indians working in across the world is just because they have a degree in many places.
Hello. Are you there, Suraj? Okay. Okay, I think there's a small mic issue. Okay, anyway, I'll just try to answer any questions that comes up. Um, UK degree is eligible for a job in the UK or all over the world. It again depends on the company and how they hire you. Yes, it's definitely valid in the UK, and that's why it's a degree here. And only few places like India, I think many of the the corporate companies in India as well would recognize your degree, unless they just value numbers and not your knowledge. It depends on the company's mentality and the hiring managers. So it's a totally subjective thing. What is the scope of motorsport in Indian applicant? You cannot, again, as I said, you cannot differentiate like an Indian applicant. You just need to have the right knowledge, right visa, I say. Uh, so I would suggest you guys all, whoever is is looking to settle here, look up for the points-based system in UK, because that is the only way to settlement and work over here. The post-study work visa, most of the companies would deny to give you a like a full-time offer. They could give you a contract-wise offer, but not a full-time offer. Yeah, because they know that after 2 years they're not going to sponsor you and you're not going to be there. So you need to prove that to them. How was your job finding experience, and how many companies have I applied? Okay, so I'll just tell. I started like seriously applying 6 months into my course. Like I was it's like an open ocean. You know nothing. You don't, especially back then for me. uh, there's how do I put it? Yeah, the visa rules were pretty strict. There was no backup given by the government, either post-study work or anything. It's pretty strict. It's either, within 3 months of your course, you get a job, you stay, or you leave. So all my friends have left. It was pretty bad till now, but for you guys, that's not going to be the case. I would say I started applying 6 months into my course. I applied for like can't tell it. It's at least 500 jobs. At least like proper sitting, filling in the application and stuff. LinkedIn, one click apply. 500 to 600 jobs would have applied. I got many interviews. Like many people just so basically the conversation is this was this for me. So they just call, just say, oh, hey, I checked your profile on LinkedIn. Oh, it's good. Blah blah blah. I'm like, I realized none of the companies offer sponsorship here. I'm like, do you sponsor a visa? It's like, no. Okay, like sorry. So that's how the conversation used to go. Visa was a big deal for me over here. So yeah, so that is the thing. Yeah, so then finally I managed to get my way through and find a company that sponsored a visa for me. It took me a year, and yes, finally going to start my job soon. Mm, is it true Indian students find it harder to get job than UK students? No. Uh, yeah, I would say I think you're not asking in terms of visa. So if you have the visa, no, you wouldn't find it harder because we have like good subject knowledge, and it's only the communication part we lack in, and the confidence part. We're not that confident enough when it comes to interviews. So yes, if you cover that, I think we are all on an equal stage. There's no ups and downs except for the visa. Yeah. What is the post of an engineer? How much money should be ready for masters? Okay, money wise, I would say your living cost could be up to £1,000 a month, including all your bills, your rent, your food, and your extra expenses. It could go down, 800 to 1,200 based on your personal things. But yeah, thousand is the average that you would spend. And again, then comes your fees and your flight tickets and visa charges and all that. What can one do to increase chances of landing a job? I would say one thing is during your course, uh, there are a lot of small companies here in the UK, startups, and that's what I did. So to just build my profile, I went to a company. It was a small startup. He didn't even have a website. He just had a Facebook page. So what he did was he took old classic cars, removed the IC engine, converted them into electric so they can run again on the road, because right now they're banned from running on the road. So he did all that. So I was like, see, I'm interested in what you do. I just want to offer my help. Don't expect any pay, or just go there, freelance, learn, and build your profile. It gives you some sort of industrial experience, and that goes big ways. Second thing I would say in terms of employability, and this is like particular to UK. I'm not going to tell you go have some experience in India. So during your course, you could what did I say? You could look for an industrial project for your dissertation. Your college will offer you some, and also external projects are really hard to get. So unless you know someone, it's hard. So take up industrial projects. So that again increases your industrial exposure and your builds your profile. I would say, and work on a lot of personal projects, publish papers. Yeah. So as you work on your assignments and your research and your dissertation, alongside with it, because it's all your own data, it's all your own hard work, I would say start compiling and publishing papers. If possible, include your lecturer, and do that helps your profile. Scopes in leagues such as F1, F2. F1 fan. Okay, I'm a big F1 fan too. Okay, I don't know, man. See, of course, we know that there are a lot of F1 companies based here in the UK. Uh, but yes, it's rather than telling it as F1 or F2, I would just tell the first thing is you're going to a highly competitive industry. Every F1 fan will want to work there. You have a lot of competition for that job, I would say. Second thing is, so yeah, if your skills are good enough, you have experience, and you prove to them that you can do it. Yes, yeah, go for it. Again, get your visa sorted, common for every job. But F1 and F2, I would say yes, pretty competitive compared to a regular automotive engineer. That's all. So you might have to broaden your have like plan B, C, D, and all if you have like if you want jobs in such a specific niche. So I would say always have backups. Yeah, go for that try, but have backups, and yeah, that's the thing.
Right. I think Akash, it's pretty great, going on well. We have, I think, last few questions on the desk. Guess I think it's over 1 hour. For sure, we would love to talk, we would love to share. But I think we could definitely have in the future, scope of the questions for sure. We have taken screenshots, something which we could not answer. For sure, we would be having like very in-depth discussions on specifically on work and visa, on some cases. Like I think Akash should be able to give more depth on that. Yeah, I think Akash, like maybe another one question at the last, we could take it up, and we possibly can plan another discussions in the upcoming days.
Yeah, sure. I think one main question which someone
Yeah,
asked you, but everyone it's concerned to everyone is
yeah,
how good a idea is it for the student to take a loan for the masters? I took a loan for my masters, and I also got some scholarships. I would say majority of us do take a loan. Yes, we all do that, and yes. So this again, it just puts a burden on you. Not I wouldn't say a burden, but it motivates you to like be more serious in applying for jobs and do it at the earliest. Keep looking for more jobs early on rather than waiting for your course to get over. It's good. So I would say don't get worried. You will get jobs here. For you guys, things are gonna get easy. And points based system, just Google points based system UK. There's a lot of things based on that. Yeah.
perfect, perfect. I think quite a lot of real time experiences being shared from you, Akash. I mean, I'm quite happy for that. I'm sure, it's so much to sort of discuss. I think we would surely would love to have you in the upcoming days to share some of your experiences. I think as we're
Sure.
discussing, maybe we would just build up like more on specific topics and things like that. So with the questions we have right today, I think we should be able to sort of bring in a quite I would say answers to the people, and give the knowledge and share things which we definitely can do. But by
Right.
the way, thanks a lot, Akash, for making all of your time, and we're coming on the day like the festivals to share across your
Nah,
thing.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Awesome, awesome. So and definitely like kudos for your job, and kudos for your getting started an opportunity to work with. You would be working with Jaguar, is it?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. I think that's really good. All in place. We would surely have more sessions and discussions from Akash and going down the line. And also we have planned in the next upcoming week, like from Sweden and also from Netherlands. Two people will be joining. One a person who studied in Sweden, also a person studied in the Netherlands at Hans University in automotive. So I think we would have a great discussions and interactions down the line. So by the way, thanks a lot, Akash, again for making your time and
It's
joining
my
and
pleasure.
sharing
Yeah.
things. Thank you very much, and thank you very much everyone who's taken part in the discussions today, to be in the quite interactive way to get the answers from Akash, and I believe it has helped you, and the time you have invested with us for 1 hour. I believe it has just brought you something as information to use it for the future career, a future endeavor for your education and things like that. For sure, we would make more of them in the future. So we would be definitely happy to have people across the world come in and give you experience. Just that the decision you make is always solid, and you know what you're trying to do into a place into apply masters. I think we'll get more of discussions in detail. We're planning it up for you in the future. So keep interactive, be live on the website of Decibel, so you'll get definitely the information, and just like us on the Instagram, we keep posting things over there, and so that you get a notification whenever it comes up. So I think we'll push the emails too whenever whenever the next session is planned. And thanks very much from that's pretty much from my side. And happy Ganesh Chaturthi for all of you, and stay safe. And thanks, Akash, and happy Ganesh Chaturthi to you also. Enjoy your Enjoy the rest of the day.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Pleasure, Akash. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot to everyone for taking it up as an opportunity to join in. Good night. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.